Consent is not always a sexual thing. You don't go into someone's space without asking for consent. You don't touch somebody without their consent. You don't hug them. You don't make them do anything with their body or on their body that they don't want. It's something that a lot of adults didn't quite learn when they were younger. So now that we're older, it's embedded in how we think about sex because people don't really know about boundaries and consent when it has to do with somebody's body. If I'm not consenting and if I'm not saying yes with enthusiasm and, actively saying yes constantly as well, then it's actually sexual assault. So even if it's in that very moment, in the space of 10 minutes, and you change what we had specifically agreed on, then I haven't consented to it. Probably the most important is being aware of your own boundaries first. Because as much as you want other people to be aware of your boundaries, you also need to know so that you can let them know. You're not going to be able to have that conversation about consent and boundaries without being able to be honest and frank and unapologetic. In saying that as well, it doesn't mean that it's an excuse not to ask for consent or be aware of somebody's limits just because they didn't communicate that across. If they're not sure of their boundaries, then I need to make sure that I constantly check in on them. Somebody's discomfort can be a no. Somebody's holding back can be a no. Be aware of how they communicate their boundaries as well. It may not always be verbal. If you don't want to have sex, you don't have to have sex.